New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
And here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the High Vibe Hour here on the New Thought Media Network. I am Rev Skip Jennings, and I am an author, a teacher, a minister, and it is absolutely the first day of Kwanzaa, so I am celebrating with unity.
Beautiful. I'm Rev Julie Moret. I am an inspirational speaker and a spiritual teacher at the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And I love these hours. I love that we get together and we're able to chit chat a little bit and also take a deep dive on doable, useful practices to help elevate our lives. So my favorite thing, I love hanging out with you.
Well, I love hanging out with you as well. How was your holiday?
Oh, it was really sweet. I got to spend almost 36 straight hours with my teenage son, which is such a rare thing. And
wow.
It's really funny because we got caught up in this conversation and he just started reminiscing about all of these things, like some that I knew of, some that I didn't know about and growing up. And he told me one time he thought he caught Santa Claus. He crept downstairs because he heard something and he's like, "Were you hiding in the kitchen?" And I didn't remember that. It was really cute. And so just had the most special time. And then it was really funny because he kept telling me all week, we're going to watch a Christmas movie. We're going to watch a Christmas movie on Christmas Day. So Christmas Day comes and he puts on Die Hard. So first off, I need to know who thinks Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That is
I am so in that camp. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And it's the biggest debate ever, Rev. It's the biggest debate ever. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay, I'm saying no, it is not. So as you tune in, yes or no, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But what was great about it is the way that I watch movies that are scary to me or, that have any kind of pulse to them whatsoever when there's a lot of energy, oftentimes I'll mute it just to calm my nervous system down. So I had one remote control and my son had another remote control and he just kept I would mute it when it got too scary or adventuresome for me. And then he would unmute it and we were going back and forth. So it was the greatest bonding experience ever.
Oh my goodness. All good, all good, all good.
How about you? What was yours like?
Oh, well, we had a couple of very interesting experiences because we've had a lot of rain here in California. And so on Christmas Eve, I'm working out in the backyard not in the backyard, I'm in the garage. I have a little gym in my garage and I'm working out and my housemate runs out to the garage and says, the tree just fell over because of all the rain. The Chinese elm that we have in the backyard, it's huge. It's been there for probably a century.
Wow.
It simply cracked in half and fell over. Half into our backyard, half into the neighbor's backyard. There was such a beautiful piece around this where a lot of panic could have happened a year ago. I was like, okay, everything is going to happen and everything's going to be taken care of. And our, it didn't hit the house. It didn't hit the awning in the backyard. It was one of those things where I realized nature is naturing. And I want to chuck that up to drinking all the green tea because that's the green tea I'm drinking today is green tea. The Sencha green tea, which is calming effect, but yet is energizing. I'm going to say that was part of the healing practice of just not panicking. So I'm taking a sip of my Sutra tea here.
I love it. You know what I'm loving about that is that one of the things that we speak about here on the High Vibe Hour, it's an opportunity to build up, to strengthen our internal infrastructure so that we have reflexive, spiritual, physical, psychological, emotional responses, that we're stronger internally, that we have
Yeah.
intrinsic motivation, intrinsic trust and faith. And so the fact that this tree split in half, and in the past it may have caused some other kind of response from you, but that you were able to kind of roll with it, it's a sign that we can grow, when we choose to.
And the other thing I did, and this was a one from you, thank you very much. I tell this, I shared the story how at Christmas time I always felt like I never got the gift that I wanted, and you invited me to buy yourself a gift, wrap it up, give yourself a beautiful card. So I am a huge Harry Potter fan, and anybody who knows me knows I've read the book so many times, and I have gone to London to see the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child in London. So I've been, I've been following it for a long time, and I love the story. So I guess I'm a child at heart. One thing I bought myself, I used to have the soft copies. I don't know where they went, but I did buy myself a set of the hard copy editions of Harry Potter. And I'm like, wow, I can't even open up. It's so amazing. But it has all the hard copies here. And I bought that with a little gift to myself here. And it was just a wonderful thing to get and open up on Christmas Day. I also wrote a little card, and I also got one of my favorite artists who one day I'll be able to afford her art. Her name is Bisa Butler. And I got a book with all her arts and poetry. I just said, I'm going to do this for myself. And then I wrote the cards, and here's the cards I love to share with you. Number one, for the Harry Potter, I wrote, to Skip, well done this year. You are the light you are the light that continues to shine bright, from Rev Skip. And then the other one I wrote for the art book, it says, Skip, you are an artist. Go out and shine your gift to the world. Love, Rev Skip. So thank you for encouraging me to do that, to be a part of my own encouragement, because we have so many people that want to tear us down, and I don't need to tear myself down. I need to uplift myself and appreciate myself with all the things that I've gone through, all the things that I'm going through, and all the things I'm showing up on this planet to shine and to be a part of the beneficial presence upon this planet. And that was my encouragement and my willingness to appreciate myself. So that was a great holiday experience for me.
I love that. And I want to invite everybody that's in with us. Well, first of all, Elishiva, welcome, welcome. Patrick, welcome,
Thank you.
And Riley and Beverly, so grateful for your presence. And it's not too late, because when you were reading those cards that you wrote to yourself, that stuff lands. It impacts our nervous system. It creates new neural pathways when we start to speak that way to ourselves. So if you didn't hit it at Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate, it's like the time's now. We can send ourselves a love note right now. And so the suggestion is, what word of encouragement do you have for yourself today in this very moment? And you could put that on the chat. You can put it on your phone as a reminder to go off. But what you're doing is really beautiful, and it has legs. It impacts. So well done, you.
I love that it has legs, because it does carry on. It has carried on. And I got to be really honest with you. I was not in this Christmas holiday experience and wanting to be in it until just maybe a couple days before we hit Christmas. And it was just, okay, I'm kind of feeling it. The other thing too, along with this, people talk about audiobooks and reading books. I am, because we are all auditory, visual, kinesthetic. I love all three in one. So what I do is I hold the book. I also listen to it as audio reading as I'm reading, and I'm looking at it. So visual, I'm feeling the book and I'm listening. So I'm getting all three ways I love to learn. Audible just released a new audio recording of the Harry Potter books.
Uh-huh.
And it's all these actors that they're using their voice, and it's brilliant. And for me, it helps me because I experience neurodivergence. I experienced severe dyslexia. And for me, having to listen and hold the book, I'm so dialed in. It's one of the most amazing gifts that I've ever received within myself. It helps me even with my own writing.
Right, right. I love that. So I want to just recap because I feel like there's so much gold
Okay.
that's already happened, and there are a bunch of folks on with us right now, and we're so grateful for your presence. So we're the High Vibe Hour, and what I love about our time together, it's like a deep dive, like a coaching. It's like a private coaching session where we get to check in and note, like, how am I doing? Are there any places where I want, like, where it's working well and I want to continue or extend it? Are there any places where I want to make improvements? And one of the first things I heard you say was how an event that if it had happened in the past, the tree splitting in your backyard, would have brought up all kinds of stressful or anxious feelings. And there's something that's growing in you. Part of it might be what you're putting in your body, the green teas. But also, so Rye Snipes, here's your shout out.
We shout you out. Here's a shout out, baby. We shout you out, man.
Right. And then, so part of it is that we just to hear this, because sometimes when I'm in a thing, I feel like change isn't possible. I feel like this is how I'm always going to be. But when we go at it and we stay at small, manageable, doable steps, it's not great Herculean efforts. Usually it's the consistency and the day in, the day out, whether it's showing up on the mat or getting your steps or keep going back to the hydration or keep going back to eating the way you want to, even when you fall off. It's the small doable steps, and change is possible. So that's one thing. And the other is, I shared this a few weeks ago. There have been so many holidays where when it comes, January 2, I feel like, disappointed. Like I wanted it to be all this. And the thing is, there is a way in which we can, be what we want. We can gift ourselves. We can bless ourselves. And so the fact that you gave yourself a gift and not just gave yourself something that you did want, but you wrote yourself loving cards, encouraging cards. We have so much more dominion over the way our lives out picture. And so I'm really grateful that we can come together in this time and demonstrate that, that we can purposefully come together and demonstrate change is possible. It's in our hands. And what simple doable things can you do on a daily basis? Writing yourself a love note. So I'm pumped already. Let's go.
It's powerful. Let's go. So today we are talking about the season of lights because this is the ending of the season of lights, but it also begins our time of Kwanzaa. And I love the season of lights. This has not always been my favorite year or favorite time of year until I really started studying what the light really means, the light consciousness that's within us. And I've always loved how the progression of season light goes. We start off with Hanukkah. Most years, Hanukkah starts off the season of lights, is also known as the Festival of Lights. And Hanukkah is about the renewing of the temple. It's about celebrating the miracle of the oil that lasted for 8 nights. So we celebrate that. So there is a recognition of this eternal light that lives within us. And then we move into the winter solstice, which we just had, which is the return of the light. We're at the equal part of dark and light. And now we're going to the more light time, which I love, longer times in the sun. And part of this really, really it's a significance of that we are in a place of darkness. It's the darkest time of the year, but the light is always there. So no matter what you're going through, light will always rise up. And then we just have the Christ consciousness, the Christ Mass, which our teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith at Agape International Spiritual Center says, it is the mass awakening of the Christ consciousness within. Then I love how we take this awakening of Christ is within me, or the consciousness is within me. What am I going to do with it? And we move into a place of, I'm going to bring my light to work with the people so that we can all rise up together. I love the season of lights and how it moves and how it brings us to the people, because I truly believe it is the people that's going to save us. It's not government or organized religion. It is us as people coming together in unity. And today is the first day of unity.
That's beautiful. And by the way, the people starts with me. The people
Yes.
starts with you. People,
Right.
it's not those folks over there that really need to change. It starts right here. And how is the way that the way that I am behaving and being in the world, how does that, we all have an energetic frequency and it wafts out and it
Mm.
impacts people around us and it impacts further and further. So, how can my beingness be the beneficial difference that makes a difference on the planet at this time? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And,
Absolutely.
what I do love, and love how you started off with saying the light begins with me. Because
Mhm.
if we don't fully recognize who we are, how can we fully participate and be in the place of the namaste with other people, the yoga, the yoking, the union with other people, if we're not really sure of who we are? And
Mhm.
that's why I love what you just said. It begins with me.
Right,
And
and
part of,
honoring me. Can I just jump in? I just
yeah,
saw
absolutely. Please, please, please.
okay, Elishiva just wrote that she bought a card for somebody for herself and then ended up giving it to a homeless shelter, which is beautiful and is also a reminder, especially for those of us that tend to be givers and caretakers. And it's beautiful and important. And also, like, are you refueling yourself? Are you nurturing yourself? So I like that you said,
Mm,
I'm ready to nurture myself today. And so I want to like kind of take you to task a little bit if you're willing and say how with
yeah.
with a new Christ light awakening.
And
Yeah.
and
So I'm like
oh,
doable thing. Like, so you say you're ready to do it for yourself today. What is one very simple, loving thing that you'll do for yourself? And that's something we can all
yeah.
do.
And I want to ask you this: this was this year a little bit different with giving gifts. I felt a little bit different than how I wanted to participate. I want to say here I am the person with my schedule. The convenience of Amazon helped this year, and I also recognize how my easy or convenience to go to Amazon is a place of growth for me.
Mm,
And listen, I can't demonize Amazon because all my books are on Amazon. I
right.
sell from Amazon. And so I can't say that Amazon is this. I say that there's opportunity for the leaders of Amazon to grow in how they take care of the people once again. So I don't demonize Amazon. So was very aware, Rev, and I don't know about you. This year, I wanted to make sure it was something that someone wanted, and I didn't spend as much money as I just really went. Okay, I'm going to send you a little something, something. I'm going to send you this book that I think you would love. Like I
Mhm.
sent my sister-in-law and my niece the Michelle Obama the Lookbook because
Oh,
they're in
nice.
fashion. I'm going enjoy that, you know but I didn't spend as much money. What about you this year?
I love that. I just want to, I just saw somebody's tuning in from Kenya. Thank you and welcome. And if anybody else, you could just let us know where you are. That's always fun. What's fun about it for me is to feel the embrace of us, that through this gorgeous
Mm,
technology, we can be together from all around the world. So I'm grateful for your presence. Uh,
absolutely.
what was different for me, and it's funny that you brought up Amazon. Normally, I'm so busy that I just send, I ask people for links of what they want and I send them what they want. And it comes through Amazon, which usually means whoever's, if it's a parent, they have to wrap it for their kid or, it's whatever. And this year, I thought about people and I bought things that felt special to me. And
Mm,
I wrapped them. And to me, wrapping is like it's like setting a table. It's part of the sacredness, it's part of the gift. And so I really put my heart into it and I put like, dried lavender flowers or little twigs in it and it just feels really good to me. So I was way more intentional. It sounds like you were
yeah.
too this year. Felt really
I'm laughing because I was so self-sabotaging my rapping. I was like, oh, and I went in with the whole story. I don't really rap all that well. I mean, this is the story I've been telling myself years, and I'm sitting there rapping, going, I hate wrapping gifts. I wish I just gotten these gifts wrapped. Some I did get wrapped from Amazon, but there was a couple I said, I just want to, And then I finished it, and I went, oh my God, look at that wrapping. It was such a learning experience. Rapping became a learning experience for me.
Oh, that's
and how I speak to myself. Oh my goodness.
I just love it. So I saw that we have, I think West Sacramento is with us.
Yes,
Beverly, I'm
West
so grateful for your
Sacramento. That's my friend Tanya. That's my friend Tanya Beverly. She's my dear
Tanya
friend,
Beverly,
and
okay.
we were supposed to connect. Here's a good reminder. I was supposed to connect with people before the holidays. The holiday season got holiday seasoning. The life was lifing. So.
Right.
Reverend Dr. Beverly, I got a call into you this week. I promise. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit more about this theme,
Yeah.
the season of light. It is the season of light. And sometimes, especially if you happen to watch any news or have any technology, it feels like it's a season of light, but hold up, because there's a whole lot of darkness. And so I wanted to take a moment and review, like, as we were saying goodbye to 1 year, and I like doing that consciously, so to think about the past year, and if there were experiences that felt very dark, if there were things that felt, whether it's in your own personal life or in the world around, on the news, wherever it is, to take a moment and notice, did any light come from that perceived darkness? And I want to be clear, this is not like a spiritual bypass. It's not bright siding. It's simply that since what is, since we saw the things that happened on the news, since we experienced the things that happened in our own lives, is there, maybe not, but is there any kind of light? Is there any lesson? Is there any teaching? Is there any way that I want to grow or be different because of something that I experienced this year? And so that's the invitation right now, is to take a moment. We are going to launch into 2026 in a moment with visioning on the other half of this hour, but to think, like, what are some things that grew you this year? Are there things that you learned about how you want to do or be differently? Are the ways that you got more strong internally? How about for you? Is there anything that pops up?
Yeah. What comes up for me is to really recognizing there is a gift, even in the moment of what has an appearance of tragedy. For recent, the first night of Hanukkah, we know Bondi Beach. It's been on the news. People were killed at the first night of Hanukkah celebration in Australia. And the miracle in that space, and of course, I do not condone violence, or I don't believe that we need to have a tragedy to see a miracle, but I'm able to see a miracle happening, unfolding in real time. It was a Muslim man that stopped the gunman at a Hanukkah celebration. And here, we talked about this last week. This miracle has been sticking with me because I don't know how many times I've told the story, or I've listened to the story and somewhat believed it, that our Arab brothers and sisters can't get along with our Jewish brothers and sisters. And look at what we just went through the last couple of years, how it really unfolded with what's happening in Gaza, what's happening, in Israel. And I was like, okay, so this was a miracle for me, because in a Course of Miracles, it says, what is a miracle? Moving from fear to love. And I saw love in action, even in the midst of that tremendous, awful experience. I saw God. I saw God in action. So that was a huge lesson for me. It's like, where am I truly looking from? And I want to say that I was able to see a different perspective in real time because of the meditation I did, and because of the work I've been doing this year coming up to the season about the Christ consciousness everywhere present, no matter what. So that requires the practice, and it was a deeper awakening for me. Continue your practice, because this is not the first time you're going to, or the last time that you will see tragedy in action. And are you able to see God in the midst of this so you can truly hold space while this stuff is going on? So that was a huge growth for me.
Powerful. That's really powerful. I think one of my growths this year is I have a story in my head that I believe is true, that I need to be like in one place, really rooted in order to be successful or creative, or like that I need to nest. And this was a year of tremendous travel, almost weekly at points. And I was able, though it is my preference to be in one place nesting, I was able to continue blossoming. Like my specialness, my light, my creativity didn't go away because I was on the move so much. And so so the lesson for me in that is to start to trust that who I really am stays with me wherever I go, and kind of lean into that. Michael Beckwith, our teacher and dear friend, on past Sunday, he said, he made a comment about, because he travels all the time, and he made a comment about how he doesn't have to practice to be himself.
Yeah.
And I thought, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Like who we are with us. So I just wanted to take one more moment for, as you are listening, whoever's tuning in right now, to think about what light can you choose to find in any of the perceived darkness from this past year? What are any lessons, any learnings? Because we don't want it to be for naught. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want Go ahead.
And the other thing that follows up, I got to go back to Michael Beckwith's quote, which is a powerful quote. I don't have practice to be myself, and yet for me, the practice is to truly be myself. To allow, the practice has been to release the negative thoughts that come down my way when people might say, well, you're way too much, or you're too this, or you're too that, or your light shines so bright. And, I can get triggered for that. And automatically, Rev, I want to just, okay, I'm going to dim my light a little bit because I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. It's a practice for me not to let my light dim. Yeah. So that is the practice for me. Yeah, I could be myself, nails and all, my fingernails are painted always for, holiday seasons and now, and I'm just loving it. And I was in a situation where I was teaching yoga yesterday on Christmas Day, and a woman I hadn't seen for a long time came to my yoga class at Equinox, and she said to me, I'm so grateful to reconnect with you. I haven't taken your class in a very long time. And she looked at my nails. She says, oh, I'm from Canada. You have, because I have red, white. She goes, and that's my Canadian people. I'm so grateful. But we just had that connection of, it was a beautiful yoga class. We had 30 people in class, and people were like, that energy, that vibration of you. And it was just me being myself. I didn't have to say, okay, I'm gonna be yoga Skip. I'm gonna be Reverend Skip. I was just Skip.
Yes. And that's part of what we started off this hour. I know we're going to go into a break in a second. That's exactly how we started off this time, is that there are things we can do, ways that we can choose to be, and we can grow ourselves. Like, it is never too late. As long as there is breath in your body, it's never too late. So I'm super pumped about what we're doing. And as we release 2025, we're going to do a brief commercial break, and it's great to continue thinking maybe of three lights you found in any perceived darkness from this last year. And in the second half, we're going to move into what's the light you want to be in 2026. What do you want to be?
I don't know about you. I'm ready for 2025 to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm ready. I'm ready to move it. Okay, let's take this commercial break, y'all. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Are you passionate about media, storytelling, and making a difference? Welcome to New Thought Media Network, where your voice matters. We amplify diverse voices and share impactful stories. Join us in our mission. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to creativity and community, looking for enthusiastic volunteers who want to be part of something bigger. Learn, grow, and collaborate in various aspects of media production. Incredible support and camaraderie await you here. Your contributions will help us create powerful content that resonates with audiences and drives social change.
Ready to make a difference? Visit our website, www.ntmedia.org, to learn more about volunteer opportunities and how you can get involved.
Find our volunteer inquiry under the Engage tab on our website, or visit www.ntmedia.org/volunteer.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
And welcome back to the New Thought Media Network. This is the High Vibe Hour, and we're just doing a holiday recap, the Season of Light recap. And of course, today is the first day of Kwanzaa. It is the day of unity, Umoja. And welcome into this space of healing for the people. And I was thinking when we were going out, I remember a statement that our teacher, Michael Beckwith said once, and I just keep in my heart all the time: stop looking to the government to be the savior. You are the savior, and you are the light bringer, and you are the one who's being called, because governments and organizations will always let you down. But as the people come together, we rise up together. And that's the principles of Kwanzaa. As a people, we must rise together. And how powerful is that, to recognize that I must take my part to be a part of this rising community. And as I rise, we all rise together. It's a deep, deep, deep awakening time for us as a people.
Yeah. And I like the idea of taking a moment to take stock. Like, who's your community? Do you have one? Have you been cultivating community? And if not, is it time? Like Dan Buettner, who does a lot of speaking about the blue zones, I love how he says,
I love him.
There's so much evidence and proof that to live longer, healthier lives, like healthier, longer years, that whole interaction with other human beings is an enormous factor. So as we release one year and step into another, it's great to take stock in, like, what have I created? What's the community? Who is the community that I've created? And if you feel like that's an area that could use some strengthening in 2026, begin to get a sense. What's the community of your choice? What would you, where would you like to find your people? How will you find your people? And you can, whether it's online communities, like to make a decision to go and meet some neighbors or whatever it is. But we have so much dominion. We have so much responsibility. And often it can feel to me like I am a victim of circumstances or a victim of how things are playing out. But we have such a big yes. We have such a big say in our lives So this is a great reflective moment to say, how's my community? If community and union and connection is what's going to be the healing difference on the planet, what community am I a part of? And is that community saying yes to all other communities? You know, is it inclusive?
Absolutely. And it's a powerful way to really kind of recognize what is happening. We have one energy vibration that's holding on to this patriarchal way of leadership, where the patriarchal way of leadership is that it's like a triangle, and there's one person at the top, and you have all these people working to keep that one person on the top. And whoever reaches that top, that's what we work to keep that person on top. This matriarchal way of leadership, which has been emerging for the last 25 years, we're just seeing it, and there's still this energy of holding on to the old ways. The matriarchal way of leadership is that, Reverend Julie, you're a circle. I'm a circle. Reverend Beverly, she's a circle. We're all circles, and our circles will intertwine with every other circle, and then we'll be in this big circle, the macrocosm of God, the universe. So we have many circles, many leaderships, many people taking same ownership. And Rev, my circle is no bigger than your circle, and our circle is equal. And it's amazing to watch this emerge. And this actually comes out of our indigenous American people, the indigenous people. The first people, they're not third world people. So the indigenous people know that I and the land are one. I am the land. The land, we're all connected. We're all equal into this mother Gaia energy of nature. I believe this is going to be the evolution of 2026. I see it. I see it around me. I see this is the revolution, the evolution, revolutionary evolution spiritually of 2026. I see more people really beginning to connect into the teas, the herbs, the sages, going to something that's more sustainable than going after money and power and separation. I see it. I feel it. It's happening.
Oh, I love that. That reminds me, there's a prayer that we do in the shamanic world, and it goes, blessing the stone people, the plant people, the rock people, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, the winged ones, the whole of life, you know, Pachamama, Mother Earth, Father Sun, like all the star people. And so to bring into our consciousness, like a loving heart that scoops the whole of life up. That's part of our community, by the way. You know, my community is the star people, is the sun, is the moon, is the land. And it makes me want to just take a moment and notice, how am I checking in with Mother Earth? How is my connection to nature? And there have been many years in my life when I lived in big, crowded cities, you know, New York City, Miami, Los Angeles. And so, but even then I would find ways, like I would go out for walks in my neighborhood, and there may not have been hardly any nature, but if I found a twig on the ground or a leaf or something like that, and I would bring it and I would put it on my altar, which is simply a sacred area. Like you create some objects that feel sacred to you. And so that's how I kept my connection with nature when I wasn't immersed in it. And so the invitation here is to think, because that connects us to our creativity, that connects us to our life force. So
can you send me that prayer?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I would love that. I would love to have that as a way of embracing what I'm going to do in February, in January and February. I normally do kind of a dry detox. I go through the time of releasing any alcohol, salt, sugar, meat products for sure. I go completely vegan. Sometimes one year I did completely raw, which really allowed me to really center myself. So I'm preparing myself for the next 2 months of cleansing so I can head out to Bali to do the work I'm called to do in Bali in March. So part of this that I realize, I'm not just to cleanse something or release something. I want to embrace something. And I feel like that prayer, as you were saying, I heard Spirit saying, this is what you are here to embrace. This prayer, this way of thinking. It's not okay just to put something out of your eating habits, what are you going to embrace when you're releasing this time? So 2 months, I want to even further, I want to dive into that daily prayer that you just said to really connect myself with the energy of the planet.
That's beautiful. I'm going to post that like in a story on my Instagram at Rev Julie
Okay,
Moran,
great.
and I'll send it to you for sure.
I love that.
And it's kind of inspiring me to move into some kind of visioning now for our 2026, if you're cool with
Please.
that.
I
'Cause
love that. That would be great.
I feel like there's like, you know, when you can feel a palpable like opportunity, like the creativity is palpable, the opportunity here is palpable for us
It's
as a
rich.
collective joined together in this moment to really anchor and inspire what's coming next. So Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light
Mm,
can. Darkness
yes.
cannot drive out darkness, only light can. It's very easy to be a complainer. It's very easy to look around at this mad world and blame lots of other people over there for things that we don't like. But this is an opportunity to ramp up the wattage on your heart and your mind and your
Mm,
soul and your gifts to get it so bright. Dr. Sanjay's here. Welcome. To get it so bright that it cannot help but beam out. And then that way we become the light in the darkness. We start to be the beneficial difference that makes a difference on the planet at this time. So I feel like we could take a couple minutes together and just sink
yes.
into, if you're able to close your eyes, if you're able to really dive in here, we could do it with your eyes closed. If you're driving or operating equipment, obviously keep your focus there. But to just sink into that prayer that I shared a moment ago and feel it, like more than
Mm,
hear it. So this is a prayer, and it's a prayer for our union. It's a prayer for our connection with all the stone people. That means all the mountains, all
mm,
the rocks, and to feel your affinity, your connection with the mountains, with the Apu. So to all the stone people and the plant people, all the foliage, all the trees, all the vegetation, all the creepy crawlers, you know, all of them, because they're all part of the whole of life. They're all needed. They're all necessary. Maybe not in your home, but they're needed and they're necessary. So this moment to bless the stone people and the plant people and the creepy crawlers and the finned and the furred and the winged
mm,
ones and the whole of life, to feel yourself in this moment. If you can imagine yourself like having liftoff and being immersed, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about no thing, to go into that cosmic consciousness, to go into that cosmic void, that
mm,
substance that is the creation of the whole of life, to feel yourself in that primordial ooze, to feel yourself a part of that first creation, the part of the whole of life, and to feel yourself that you are always intricately,
mm,
intimately at one with all of life, with
mm,
all of life.
mm.
To feel that you're connected with Pachamama, Mother Earth. You're connected with nature. You're connected with the sun, the moon, the stars, the skies. And from this place of pure creation, let yourself fountain up, flood up with gratitude. What are you so grateful for? If this is
Mm,
a moment when you feel like, oh, there's nothing to be grateful for, cause yourself, there's an opportunity
yeah.
here, cause yourself to come up with at least 5 things, because we're switching consciousness. We're switching the focus of consciousness. We're not doing any kind of spiritual bypass. We're not pretending that things that suck don't suck, but we're placing our focus on what it is that you do desire. And as you
Mm,
do that, you begin to magnetize, you begin to resonate with more people, places, circumstances of like kind. This is an opportunity that we are
yes.
joined together in.
The other thing that comes to mind is you were giving this beautiful practice, this prayer. I believe is so important, no matter what. I know some people right now on the East Coast are experiencing Mother Nature in a beautiful way we call snow and we call ice, but it's still Mother Nature naturing. I know that there are people in the West Coast that are experiencing Mother Nature with a heightened experience of rain. I still believe it's such an important time that we get into nature, even if it's for one moment moving to your car or for one day or for not a full day, but just having that moment of actually being in nature and connecting with what it feels like to stand in the presence of snow. What does it feel like to stand in the presence of the rain? Yes, I'm getting rained on. Okay, that's cool. Mother Nature is naturing, blessing me with the goodness of water. What does it
Yeah.
feel like to be in the nature, even in cities? In LA, we do have Runyon Canyon. We do have places we can go to in parks, and it's not cold here. It's still very booming 61, 62 degrees today, a little rainy. But get out into nature, go to a beach if you're close to a beach, and just look, see how the waves move, because that's a beautiful nature dance. And understand you're not just one with the ocean, you are the ocean itself. So, what does that feel like to be one as the earth, as the ocean, as the tree? What does it feel like?
Yeah. And what I like to do is I like to become the subject of my own scientific experiment.
Ooh.
So we're saying, hey, get out into nature, but let's do this. Get out into nature and notice, does it shift anything in your consciousness? Does it shift how you feel? Do you move a little different? Do you get more inspiration? Notice what works for you. Notice how it works for you, and let that be the proof. So as we take this moment to become aware of our oneness with pure source, pure energy, pure life, and let yourself fountain up with gratitude, whatever
Mhm.
you're grateful for. And really, if you're struggling, cause yourself to be grateful, even if it's like this breath, this technology, whatever it is. And then from that place of gratitude, see if you can become open and available. What is
Mm.
God, source, creator, whatever name you call it, higher consciousness, love, beauty? What is that source that created the whole of life? What is its greatest idea of itself as you? We're not
Yeah.
visualizing what you think you want, just becoming open and available. And notice what comes to you. Some people get images, pictures, symbols, words, feeling tone, direct knowing. We all receive guidance in different ways.
Mm.
And it may feel like you're getting nothing. And then all of a sudden you might have an interesting dream, or a symbol may appear later in your day. So notice, if you feel like nothing, see if there's a willingness to see the signs, to hear, to really
Yeah.
incline your ear and hear. And so what
I love
is
that.
God's greatest idea of itself as your very life? And if
Mm.
the word God doesn't work for you, plug in whatever word: love, beauty, nature,
Yeah.
higher
So
consciousness.
powerful. So powerful. One of the other things too in this, what we're tapping into, a little bit more visioning, we'll do that definitely in the new year, but having a quantum jump into the future.
Mm,
Because right now, quantum field means it's happening in the future, it's happening in the now, it's happening in the past, it's happening in so many dimensions. If we do a quantum jump into the future and we take a moment to just recognize, what kind of 2026 do I want to experience? Because guess what? Our subconscious and our mind doesn't know that we're not there. And we're fully doing something which I call spiritual visualization, different from visioning, but creative visualization. I'm visualizing myself moving through 2026, and I'm seeing me signing books, and I'm seeing myself speaking on a pulpit. I'm seeing myself traveling, getting on a great flight to Bali. I'm really visualizing what I want my 2026. And nowhere in this visualization am I seeing lack, limitation, destruction, fear,
mm.
doubt, and worry. I'm visualizing a perfect, great year for me.
I love that. So let's do that. Take a moment right where you are and
Mhm.
paint the picture, paint the way you want it, and be bold. Like, what is 2026 for you? And imagine, see, sense, visualize, pretend yourself being the way that you most desire to be in every area. So we can go through in the area of health first. Who do you want to be? How do you want to be in the area of
Mhm.
health? Like, getting in your hydration, how many ounces, and you do the research. I go by half my body weight in ounces of water every day. How much water, making sure you're really flushing the system, hydrating the brain
Wholeness,
and the whole
health,
body temple. What kind
health and
of,
healing.
just visualizing how you want to be in the way that you work and nurture your physical body through 2026. What works for you? Do you have good time to stretch? Are you doing strength training? Are you doing cardio? Are you getting your steps in? Are you getting steps in outside in nature? What works for you? And get an image, get a picture of how you want to be in the area of your prosperity. What does 2026 look like for you in the area of your prosperity? And you can loop in career, passion, purpose. You know, Rev Skip is signing lots and lots of his new book, taking a huge group to Bali and having it be rewarding and meaningful for everybody. What does your 2026 look like in the area of prosperity, of wealth, of affluence, which means the free flow of abundance, which means your profession, your passion?
One thing that comes to mind, and we're going to close here soon, I'm going to ask you this question as well. But one thing comes to mind, a lesson I learned, that in my spirit, I heard 20 people are going to Bali, but I didn't really believe it. And when we were really kind of slow in people signing up, you know, we had great 12 people sign up, and I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. I'm fine if we just have 12. And spirit keeps saying 20 people. Last week, another person joined, which made 13. Yesterday, 2 people joined, which makes 15.
Wow.
If we limit our thinking to what feels comfortable, we'll never reach to the point that spirit is saying. Now, I'm holding that consciousness for 5 more people to join Bali. And so that was a learning lesson for me. So I'm going to ask you this, Rev. What do you want 2026 to look like for you?
Okay, I love what you just said, and it reminds me of the notion that we leave it open at the top. So you could pray for another 5, or whatever is for my highest good, you know, which could be another 10. It could be whatever, but leaving it open for God to.
Well, we have to cap at 5. We have to cap at 5 because we only have room for 20.
All right. Well, continuing to leave things open, because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
So, so for me, for 2025,
or 2026. Sorry.
2026. I love having a couple of really compelling big events a year. And I have been having that for the last maybe 5 years. So I'm excited already for what I don't even know is going to emerge that will knock my socks off, and that's exciting and compelling, and where I feel very well used. And I'm definitely going to have my next book out. So that's in the works. So by the end of this year, the next book will be up and out, and I'm excited about that. And you know what I'd like to just have this sweet community hold for me? The first time I released a book, I didn't know anything about releasing books, and it sold well because I'm connected with Agape, but I didn't do like the book launch, or I didn't do anything. And so this time around, and I'm going to tap into you, I want to do it in a way that is like smart.
I do too. See, we've been talking about this, and this goes with the vision for the show that I didn't really even say, and stuff is coming I can't really speak about right now, how we're developing. But what I do know is I'm seeing us both on stage as well, doing live events. I'm also knowing that you and I have talked about this, how we want to be smarter, not work harder. That's why we're building a team around us who to support this vision, this brand, which I really don't like the word brand, but I'm gonna use it. It's convenience of what Reverend Julie and Julie and Skip are bringing to this planet. And I didn't mention this, but I see a team around us supporting our vision, because we have a vision. You and I have a story to tell. We have a message that we want to share together. This is a divine calling. I see the yin and yang coming through, and having that blessing through both of us, that we may come together and create something so incredibly special for our community.
Like doable, simple, daily practices, so that we can keep growing. Like how you started off, like you are different than you were, and that's what we go for, to keep getting better. And that's what we're about. So I'm pumped.
Keep getting better. I love that. Keep getting better. So my takeaway from this show is that I adore you. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we got to spend, part of the year together, 2025, creating something so beautiful. And I know that people who go back to watch a show, especially on my page, my YouTube page, and your YouTube page, and people in our Agape community are watching, and they're going, "We see what y'all doing. We might not be live with you, but you and Rev are doing some fun stuff." They don't catch every show, but the shows that they do catch, they're like, "Y'all just fun." I'm going, we are fun. So I am absolutely, my takeaway from the show is how grateful I am that we get to walk this journey together and jumping into 2026. What are you taking away, sis?
I am grateful for that as well. And one thing that happened right before we started today, a friend of mine asked me what my intention is for 2026. And I said, my theme for 2026 is coming into focus. And he wrote back so fast and he said, I always think of you as extremely focused. And so my takeaway is to take a breath in these last few days of this year to really appreciate all that I am doing. It's easy to think of what, everything I want to do, but to take a moment and really appreciate where I am and what I have said yes to and accomplished. And then, just launch like a rocket into 2026. And I'm inviting those of you that are with us, what's your takeaway from this? And to pick something. We've talked about a whole bunch of things. How are you choosing to be a light in the darkness? What light did you experience from this past year? Like, let us gain something so that we keep building that strong internal infrastructure so that when events happen, we've got a whole new way of responding that's up-leveled. I'm ready to start hour 2 now.
I was just about to say, have you ever noticed how this is the fastest hour of my week? This is the fastest hour of my week. And so how can people catch you on your Instagram and your socials?
Yeah, so I'm on Rev Julie Moret on Instagram. That's probably the main place that I'm at. And I do a lot of videos I'm putting up. And then I share them to my YouTube page where we're going to have more and more practices and teaching. So I just want to keep putting doable tools and practices out there so we can keep growing together. So Rev Julie Moret, you can also be on my website at juliemoret.com. Sign up for the email list. And when I teach, you'll hear about it.
Absolutely. Y'all, you can get me. I'm on Instagram. I'm Rev Skip Jennings on Instagram, and go to my website, skipjennings.com. You can find out more of all the things that we're doing. I'm doing a relaunch of my my online store. Actually, I took all the existing shirts and designs, and I have a new designer who's working on some new ideas, especially for the new brand that's coming out, the 50 and Beyond Tribe brand that's coming out. So we have new t-shirts. So we're doing a relaunch of the store in 2026. So you can't purchase any of the t-shirts and sweatshirts right now, but it's coming your way. And like we were talking about, I do have room for 5 more people to go to Bali, and that would be absolutely amazing experience. March 14th through the 27th, come to Bali with us. More information, just DM me. I'll get more information to you, how you can be a part of March is coming around. Can you believe it?
One more thing real quick. I just remembered.
Yes, absolutely. Sure.
My book, What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand, is on sale half off. I don't think I've ever done that before. It's on Amazon. So it's my name, Julie Moret, and What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand. That's what it looks like. Thank you so much. And Dr. Sanjay, I see you, and I know you follow on Insta. I'm grateful for your presence. What a fun hour.
It's amazing. And for some reason, I know Reverend Sanjay. I don't know. Is she on Insight Timer as well? She might be one of my followers on Insight Timer. I probably am. So that's another reminder. You can get free meditations on Insight Timer, y'all. I have over 75 meditations that you can get on Insight Timer. Everything on the website. This is amazing. I can't believe the year's over. Well, almost over. And next show is going to be our New Year's show. We're going to be doing some visioning and really setting ourselves up for success. I am absolutely grateful. And Rev Julie, I'm grateful for you as well. I'm grateful. Yeah, we get to play together. We get to play together. So, all right, everyone, peace and blessings until next year.
Yes.
Which is next week. Be love and kind. You remember, transformation is a choice you chose today because you showed up. Peace and blessings, y'all.